Welcome to Demetrius Tanase, the yacht design channel where we explore the elegance, innovative styling, and techniques that shapes the world of luxury boating.
Hello and Happy New Year! May 2025 be a prosperous year for all of you. What better way to start the new year other than a yacht project? I decided to start a new project to document the entire design process around several videos and share with you all my process, all the steps required from start to finish. This video, unlike the other ones, is unscripted, so this is more genuine. I won't take too much takes on every aspect, so I will be a little bit more, let's say, natural. As a point, on none of my videos I use a teleprompter. Usually I write down a script because I like to have my thoughts organized. But on this one, it will be a more practical and more engaging process. So, starting a new project needs a planning. So I usually start a list of all the steps of my design process from start to finish. This is my first very step on every project. I have more than 15 years of experience in design and I know my design process very well, and I'm still doing it because it helps me clear my mind, help me break down or even the most big projects that sometimes may become overwhelming. So let's dive into it. First of all, we need a title for this list, no? So we'll go with New Year, New Project. Because I don't have a name for it, I don't have a specification, I don't know any of the details yet, we will decide this on the first step. The brief and specs. At this stage, I will try to decide on as many details as possible. The general dimensions, length overall, beam, draft, other info like number of guests, number of crew, other features that a client might need or might want, jacuzzis, pools, number of decks, it would be a topic, and also proposal for propulsion. So a good brief is very important and we will cover this in a future video because I will document all the entire process. So I will document also the brief. On the second point, I create an initial profile section. I do this by hand on a piece of paper. It's usually a very rough sketch where I try to decide the spaces and the position of rooms on the yacht. Where is the owner's suite, the guest rooms, the wheelhouse, if it's on a bridge deck or shares the space with the sun deck, if the yacht has an owner's deck or the owner's deck is the same with the main deck. So I try to play with these variations, move spaces, rooms on different decks and understand better how is the relation between rooms and decks. That this will influence the number of decks and depending on what features, what rooms we will have, the height and the length. But this is a process I really like to take into consideration at first before going into styling sketches, because This will define some position of windows. As I said, height, dimensions, length of decks. So it gives a guideline for the styling sketches, which we'll do next. 3. Initial sketches. Now, initial sketches for me are very rough. So they are very messy. I usually don't share that with anyone, even though my wife tells me they are also beautiful. But I will share it with you. You can give your opinion to me. But I usually keep this for myself. It's a process. It's the process I like to dive in completely. But please comment below. Tell me what do you think about my initial sketches on the video, and probably I will include this in my client's presentation from now on. But we'll see. Going to the fourth step is detailed sketches. These are the beautiful sketches. These are the sketches that catches the eye, that try to evoke and capture the spirit of the yacht. Usually can be made digitally using a tablet or in Photoshop, or by hand using a pencil or other means. Sometimes I skip this, to be honest. I like it, but for the sake of productivity and time, I go most of the time directly into 3D. A detailed and beautiful sketches can catch the eye and be a little bit misleading sometimes, because you have this wonderful sketch that is a piece of art, it looks amazing, and then when you go into 3D, that artistic touch is a little bit lost. Even though I try to encapsulate the spirit of a yacht, of a project, as much as possible into the 3D shape by use of materials, the shapes and the flow of the lines. Now, talking with this, let's go to the 5, the 3D model, concept model. At this stage, I use 3D to explore on shapes, on how the yacht is viewed from exterior. You can check the design from each angle, 360 view. It's a very good tool. I use it a lot. I spend a lot of time in 3D. I like to play with shapes, dimension. It's like a balance between art and technical approach, because you can have the exact proportions that you will have on the finished product. Now, the next step, the 6th, will be developing a general arrangement. At this stage, I will focus more on developing the general arrangement. But usually this step starts from the initial profile section, from the second point, because you will have an idea of where the spaces are located. Also, during the initial sketches, I like to have some small GA drawings on the side. The same with the detailed sketches. Everything connects. So usually when I get to the 6th point, I usually knew how the general arrangement will look, but I try to do a few variations at this stage. 7. Outline specifications. At this stage, I will develop an outline specification. It's a written document describing as much information about the yacht as possible. The dimensions are in there, descriptions of decks, number of guests, number of saloons, as much as possible. Materials, everything. At start, this document will have around a few pages. But as the project reach his final steps, the outline specification may reach hundreds of pages. And usually the naval architect and the engineers contribute to this document. The 3D model, the GA and the outline specification can make a bid package that can be sent to a shipyard for an offer. And as much information as possible, the outline specification, the shipyard will produce a very accurate offer. Having everything written down here as much as possible, you will have the shipyard, and also it will be more professional. The shipyard will love working with you. The client will be confident that all the information that he wants are written here. So it's a requirement, it's a recommendation, it's a requirement to have. 8. A 3D CAD model. At this stage, I develop a 3D CAD model of the entire yacht, including all the windows, all the superstructure, the mast, everything. I like to go as much detail as possible, as I also previously stated in the key responsibilities of the designer. Responsibility for the designers to deliver a 3D CAD model. It's the foundation for the building process, and it's very important to have as much details as possible produced and designed at the highest quality, so your design is not ruined. Next, 9. Design drawings. At this stage, I develop a few 2D drawings that explains the design. It includes a profile view, a profile section view, a GA, more in detail than the GA from the 6th point, sections, and detailed drawings of loose furniture, fixed details, the mast, and as much information as possible. From these drawings, the shipyard may check the design, take out dimensions. It helps understanding the shapes, the 3D better, and helps the shipyard to produce the production drawing or the engineering team. 10. Presentation and visualization. At this stage, I like to develop realistic renderings using the 3D CAD model. This way, we can view the yacht before it gets built and have the most closest image to the final project. I like renderings because you can have the feel of the project before it gets built, and you can create a booklet that we can share with the shipyard and with the clients, and it's a very beautiful and fun step of the project. And usually it concludes it's on the final steps, and it's very fun. This is all the design process that I will follow in the following weeks to design a yacht. I will take you through each and every step. On the next video, I will break down this list and add deliverable and more information on each point. I like to expand it, so especially on bigger projects that can be overwhelming, to have a better and a clear overall view of the deliverables and the steps I have to take to deliver it. Now, this concludes the episode. I enjoy the process. Hopefully you enjoy it too. Don't forget to subscribe, give a thumbs up for the algorithm, and engage in conversation. Give me your thoughts about this process, and has become a bigger community. I enjoy doing these videos, and give me your ideas, what you would like us to cover. Also, take into consideration becoming a Patreon. We try to develop a team that will take these videos to the next step, and this support will help. Until next time, let's live the yacht design passion.